All right, welcome back. So this is the second page of the packet. All right, and again, if you have the ability to do this with pencil on actual paper, do that. If you don't, you can do this on Cami, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to demonstrate how you can draw these on Cami. And this, I'm a little better with this, but again, it's you guys are going to be much better at this than me because you're just better at computers. I'm a lot more comfortable with them having grown up with them, and I did not. So, all right, here we go. So what you're going to do on this, all right, is it says label the 2D views. That's the first thing you're going to do. Then you're going to shade the figure, and then you're going to draw the separate 2D views in color. So I'm going to do a little bit of each of those so to leave you guys something to do. So when they say number one, we're going to label the 2D views. That means you're labeling what's the top on this, right? What are the sides and what are the front view? And so I'll find one for each of these, and this is a pretty straightforward one. So I'm going to use a text box. And so remember, the top is basically, you know, if you flew over this thing, what the bird would see, all right? And so like this right here is a top view, all right? So this would be a top view. And I'm just using the text box when I put that in. Okay, if you look at the front view, a lot of people get confused and think these are the front views, but these are the side views. This thing is facing this way. It's like an arrow going from this here to this. It's going that way. So one of the front views would be right here, right? Front. Okay, and then one of the side views would be the one that's left, which would be here. And so those are where those are, and then when you shade this, all right, for the front, okay, you would use the 0.5. We'll use black, right? And you just kind of take that and just sort of, you know, you're gonna pull it down just like we did in the last video. Make it kind of stripy. You don't have to put like 1,000 of them in there, but just put enough of them in there to get the idea, maybe 4 or 5 per block, right? And so that's what the front looks like. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I want you to do some of the work. And then when you color the side, now the top is left white, so we're not going to do anything to that. But when you color the side, you're going to go to your drawing tool. Here, I got it on gray. I'm going to, because it's small, I'm going to leave it on the 4. If you're doing a bigger one, you can switch over and to your stroke thickness to be a little bigger. But for this, I would just take this and I would just go, okay, I'm just kind of bringing it in here, and we're going to do this. And because we're doing this digitally and you're going to cover anything up that you typed, you probably want to leave that and just sort of go around it so it would look something like that. Okay? So not ideal, not beautiful, but it'll work, and it gives you the idea. So like I said, this is not an answer key for you. I did not do all the sides. I did not do all the tops. I did not do all the fronts. So make sure you are doing that on your own. However, I am going to help you with the views, all right? So if we know what the front views are, right, the top view, so this is the first part of the top, right? Obviously, in the other part of the top, and if you're paying attention, you can go back later and fix this, but the other part of the top is this one right here, okay? So when you fly over this, you see this and this, and when you see it, it's going to wind up looking kind of like an inverted T, right? A lot of people think there's space between this and this, because this throws them off, but this edge basically looks like it's along this edge when you're looking straight down at it. So knowing that kind of helps us when we draw this thing so that we can make it look good. So I'm going to pick a thicker line here. All right, I'm using 2, and I'm going to draw this lower edge right here first. So I'm going to go right in the corner here. I'm going to click on it, and then you can pull it over. And what's nice about the line tool is the line tool will let you kind of straighten it out, right? I'm going to put a line there, and then I'm going to do this top one. So I'll go here, pull it over like this. Now let's put our sides on for that. Now you notice one of the things that I'm going to do and this is something I'm kind of a stickler about, is I don't want you guys marking every block, like with the fact that if you build these out of cubes, right? People will put lines here, here, here. I don't want to see that. Leave this like this. Show that it's one face, right? And then it looks nice. And now to show this, this is right in the middle, right? And so look where this kind of intersects this right here. So it's right in the middle, so that if we translate that over here, that means we're going to have a line here. Okay, one there. And there's that thing doing that thing again. I hate that so much. All right, bring this down. Okay, and then we'll go up here and we'll pull this over. Okay, like that. And then there you go. There's your top view. All right, and then you're going to do the same thing, or wait, no, so this is the top view. So actually I had mistakenly said it's this, right? But it's actually this and this. And the nice thing about this one is your top and your front view are actually going to look very similar. Okay, so this is my top view. I don't have any other weird ghost lines or anything I got to put in it because it's a pretty straightforward piece. And so what we'll do now is we will, for your front view is going to be basically the same thing, right? And so I wonder if it'll let us copy this. Nah, well, it might, I suppose, if I want. Boom. And I click copy image, come down here. No, it's not going to let me do that, or I don't feel like messing around with it, I guess is more the correct answer. And so it's going to look pretty much the same. So I'm going to do kind of a quick Reader's Digest version of this, right? Like I said, you can take a little more time on this and make it look nice than I'm going to, because you are not making a video for people to watch while you're doing this. And I don't want you wasting any more time watching me do this than is necessary. And so the front view is going to, like I said, look exactly and literally almost exactly like the top view. The only thing that's going to be different is we are going to have a couple of ghost lines in this. And ghost lines is kind of like a term I have for these dashed lines that you put in to show that the depth behind this. Because like if you go in the center, this goes 2 blocks deep, right? But there's nothing behind this one, and there's nothing behind this one beyond the first one. So when we do those, you put your drawing tool on, put it to a thin thing, and then just kind of draw a couple lines in here that you can't even see that. Oh, it's because it's gray. All right, let's do it black. Just take that and just kind of put a couple lines here to sort of show it. You'll probably, like I said, be able to do this better than I. All right, and just something to show that, hey, there's something back there. I'm going to try it with a darker stroke. So, yeah, when I do this, it wants to like pull to the left a little. There we go. That one didn't turn out too shabby. All right, and so you just put those little ghost lines in. Those ghost lines those are helpful to the person. If somebody saw this and didn't have a model in front of them, they would see that and go, oh, well, that means there's some kind of height differential. Something's different. And then for your side is going to be, well, this is going to be over on the left. You see how that lines up there? So that's going to be our first one. So that one will be right here, right, like that. Carry this over here, bring it down. I am getting better at this as I'm doing this, but it's still not easy. My hand tends to shake a little bit when I do stuff like this. All right, and then you got to draw this 2 block one, this 2 block one, right? And so that's the top block and that's the second block. This block is even with this block, so you're going to get like a shape that sort of looks... I'll try to make this so it's not a mess. All right, sort of looks like this. Right here. Take this, bring this down. All right, and then just put in your sidelines, like here. And then and then you're basically done once you do that, right? And then you would just shade it, all right? So this would get the gray on this one. This one would get your striped line, okay? Make sure you're listening to this and not just watching it, you're paying attention, right? So you would need to shade this as well because that is in the directions. It says it right here. Shade the figure, right? And draw the separate 2D views and color. In other words, finish shading it, all right? So the top does not get shaded. This would be your stripes, and this would be your gray, all right? If you're, you know, whichever way you're doing it, whether you're doing it in paper or on Cami. All right, and then there will be one last video in which I'll sort of talk over how to do the last one, okay? And we'll talk to you then. Let me find out how to stop this thing. All right, we'll see you then.